Hey YouTube, Card Hound here. Well, it has been a while again since my last video, so I do have some recent pickups. Also, I did want to mention national videos again, just like the previous years. You guys did a great job giving us the overall feel of the national, and some of your pickups were just truly epic. So that was great to watch those. But let me go through. Been working again still on the '86 Fleer basketball set, so I've got some pickups there. And I picked up a few cowboy cards. I hadn't picked up any of those in quite a while. So let me just show you what I got. First one is going to be a 1970 Topps rookie card of Ralph Neely. So Ralph Neely, obviously not a huge household name for the Cowboys. He was with them playing both left and right tackle for the Cowboys his entire career. And was with them through the 70s and I believe maybe like early 80s. But a really good, solid player. Went to a couple of Pro Bowls. Got it in an 8, which for a 1970 is a great grade for that card. So, just in addition, I have been working on the Cowboys PSA set registry, and that's one of the cards for the set registry. So, next one is going to be a 1979 rookie card of Mr. Tony Hill. So Tony Hill was a really big wide receiver for the Cowboys. So you're talking late 70s into the 80s. He has almost 8,000 yards receiving. I think maybe like 3 or 4 Pro Bowls. Several thousand-yard seasons. A really good wide receiver. And again, to get a 79 and a 9, a great grade for that. Not a super expensive card. And he also was in the set registry as well. Next one up is going to be a 1989 Pro Set rookie card of Mr. Nate Newton. Had his card already in a Topps. So this is a 89 Pro Set, and that's the card that PSA decided to put in the set registry. So I went ahead and got this one. Not the easiest card in the world to find. Depending on when you go to eBay, sometimes there's none of these cards on sale. At least in graded form, in a 10 or a 9. So it took a while to kind of wait around to see one that came up for sale. So that is 3 Cowboy editions. So there's just one more look at the front of those. So we'll pull those down and reset. Next one is a card I've shown before. I just figured this one's kind of timely. So, my guy Zeke again. So just got another one of his. Hopefully, I would say in the next couple of days, we'll hear that Jerry has opened up his wallet and has actually signed Zeke to a contract extension. That way we can get this season going on the right foot. But that is another Zeke Donruss Optics rookie. And speaking of Donruss Optics rookie, I've decided to get some of the younger guys, their Donruss Optics, and then maybe also their Panini Prisms as well. So here is a Leighton Vander Esch, Donruss Optics rookie. Great rookie season. Between him and Jalen Smith, just a real dynamic duo in the linebacking core. And I think this kid is just going to have a fabulous career. So that is the front and the back of that one. So that's it for the Cowboy cards. So any of you that are not real Cowboy fans, that's done. So just a few additions there. Like I said, I hadn't bought any Cowboy cards in a while, so it was just kind of nice to add a few. So let's go through some of the 86 Fleer. First one I think is a really cool card. So this is a guy I think with a lot of kind of history back in the 80s. So 86 Sam Bowie rookie. So a lot of you guys will know this was the guy that was drafted right before Michael Jordan in the NBA draft. There was a documentary about him as well that came out a few years ago that kind of talks about that. I mean, talks about, his struggles with injury in college and in the pros and kind of how he was saddled with being the guy drafted before Jordan and, just really interesting. Seems like a really nice guy, but a really well put together documentary. So that is a Sam Bowie rookie. And again, pretty well centered on that card. Next one was a really solid player, I think like a 3 or 4-time All-Star, and that would be Mr. Tom Chambers. So that is his rookie card. Centering left to right looks pretty good on this one. I'd say top to bottom is off a little bit. but a really nice, good, solid card. And I just remember when I was watching the NBA back then, it just seemed like Tom Chambers was just a solid player all the way around. I think for his career, he had about 18 points per game, and like I said, about a 3 or 4 time All Star. So a good, solid player there. Next card up would be again a rookie card. This is a Hall of Famer. Also, I believe currently an assistant coach and has been a head coach in the past. That would be Maurice or Mo Cheeks. So, rookie card of his. Really great player, really scrappy guy, good floor general. And like I said, been up and down through the coaching ranks. But that is the front and the back of his card. So, really nice addition there. So let me pull those down. I would say on the 86 Fleer set, I'm at about 20, I think just over 26% completed. I have one more card coming in the mail, so we're at 26%. So that's pretty nice. Obviously, a lot of the bigger cards we're still on the hunt for, but we're plugging away. Next one would be Mr. Wayne Cooper. Absolutely no recollection whatsoever of Wayne Cooper. Again, no slight on his career, but just really don't remember him. Really do dig the Denver jerseys on that card. But that's the front and the back of his. Again, a nice, well-centered card. So a good addition to the collection. Real easy card to find. So not a struggle with centering, or it's not a really expensive card. Next card is going to be a Hall of Famer. A really prolific scorer, and that would be Mr. Adrian Dantley, also known as AD. This guy did take a swim through Dallas, because again, guys, I am in the Dallas area, so I'm always interested in that. Towards the end of his career, he was traded for Mark Aguirre, who ended up going to Detroit. And so we got AD for a couple seasons. I think he had like one 20-point season with us, but he was really on the tail end of his career at that point. But man, I think like 3 years in a row, he had over 30 points scoring. And I think for his career, he's like over 24 points a game scoring. So just like I said, a prolific scorer and a guy that I think, maybe people have forgotten about a little bit as far as just how great a scorer and player he was in his career. The next one is a Maverick. He's actually, he is on the Mavericks broadcasts. I think either radio or TV. I've forgotten, honestly. Mr. Brad Davis. Maybe it's on the radio. A good scrappy player, a good role player. The weird thing is, I think he's actually, his banner is hanging up in American Airlines Center, which is kind of weird because you think a guy that's not really someone who you define as a great player, you wouldn't think his name and jersey would be hanging up from the rafters, but, I guess that's the Mavericks franchise for you. But that is the front and back of that one. Really difficult card to find well-centered, and kind of a pricey card as well. Again, for a Brad Davis, you're going to pay more than you would expect for that card. So let me reset again. Next card is a Hall of Famer. Started in the ABA, finished his career in the NBA. Amazing, so great scorer, almost legendary rebounder and defender, Mr. Artis Gilmore. So that is the front of that one. So with this card, I believe he's pictured with the Spurs. Like I said, started in the ABA, definitely a legendary Hall of Fame player. Just really, really nice card. Happy to add this one to the collection. Like I said, pretty much anytime I add a Hall of Famer, I'm just about as excited as I am adding a rookie Hall of Famer. It's just, these guys are legendary players. So it's just really kind of flips my switch anytime I can get any of these cards as a part of the collection. So there we go, the front and back of that one. Next one, Mr. Rodney McCray. Very few recollections of Rodney McCray. I do remember him playing back in the day. I do remember him being with Houston and being, a fairly solid role player. But other than that, just, not really many recollections of him. But this is a nice example of his card. Pretty well centered, front and back of that one. Again, not a super expensive card or anything. So Mr. Rodney McCray. And then the Next one we gonna have up, again, a Hall of Famer. This would be Robert Parrish, aka the Chief. So definitely a part of those legendary Celtics teams. The center for those teams, just a solid rebounder, defender. He could score. Just a great all-around player. So nice to add his. Really well-centered, nice example of his 86 Fleer. So that's the front and the back of the Chiefs card. And then we only have two more to go. So let me go ahead and reset again. Pretty much weekly, I'm trying to pick up, if I can, one or two 86 Fleer cards, because I'm still at the point where I still have quite a few of the common, more affordable cards still left. So it's pretty easy to still pick these up on a regular basis. I know we're going to get to a point where we're going to get to the really expensive high dollar cards, and it's going to be more of an uphill journey. Mr. Cliff Robinson, that's the next card. He's got a nice 80s look to him there on that card. The only thing that I really know about Cliff Robinson is the fact that it seemed like he played forever. It seemed like he started in the league in his early 20s and he played till he was about 40. So just a really long career. Seemed like a really good, solid player, scorer, rebounder. Also, if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that is Kareem in the background on that card too. And I noticed that some of the cards that I showed before, Kareem is pictured a lot with the player that the card is of. I think I found 4 or 5 cards with Kareem in the picture, so that's kind of cool. Last card for this haul would be Wayne Tree Rollins. So again, got it in a 9 because that's what we're shooting for. Good, well-centered card. Also, again, same thing, kind of like the Cliff Robinson. Really long career. I think he played till close to 40. And just, a good, solid role player. That is the front and the back of that one. So that is basically it, guys. I mean, that's the haul. Like I said, being over a quarter of the way done on the 86 Fleer set, that's a pretty big milestone for me. A lot of the really big cards we're, still on the hunt for. Hoping next month to maybe knock down 1 or 2 of those and maybe add another couple of big Cowboy cards. But other than that, I mean, that's about it. Like I said, national videos, loved them all. I mean, I was entertained for weeks just on those. So really enjoyed that. And thanks very much for watching, guys. And take care, and we'll see you.